On Monday, Secretary of State John Kerry announced the appointment of the first ever special envoy for LGBT rights at the State Department. Randy Berry, an openly gay career diplomat, was designated the special envoy for the human rights of LGBT persons. He will be in charge of reducing the violence and discrimination against LGBT people around the world. This includes more than 75 countries around the world where consensual same-sex relationships are criminalized. And for this, the Secretary of State John Kerry said in a statement that defending and promoting the human rights of LGBT persons is at the core of our commitment to advancing human rights globally, the heart and conscience of our diplomacy. There was immediate positive reactions in the announcement, Melissa. Like Human Rights Campaign President Griffin said the following statement: "At the moment when many LGBT people around the world are facing persecution and daily violence, this unprecedented appointment shows a historic commitment to the principles that LGBT rights are human rights." This is amazing.
Yeah, I think this is great progress. Great progress.
I think that it's important to know that the U.S., although it has its shortcomings, where it, applying at a federal level these progressive measures of gender equality and equal rights for gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people, it is a very progressive country. I think that it makes sense that we become a leading voice around the world to bring these countries where some people have brutal treatment against them just for their personal choices, the people that they choose to love and the people they choose to be. And so it's scary to know that in some countries you can be thrown off a building or physically punished
prison, death,
just because of your sexual preference. And I think that we well beyond that, and I think that, like they said in the quotes, LGBT rights are human rights and they should be observed everywhere in the world. And I think that it's very positive that we're doing that.
What interests me is the military aspect of this, because LGBT people have been in the military for God knows how long, probably since military started, and now suddenly, we're recognizing them. So why was there so much concern about their sexual orientation while in the military?
Well, to that point, it's very important to also mention that the Defense Secretary Ashton Carter, recently sworn in, said that transgender people shouldn't be prevented from serving in the U.S. military solely based on their gender identity, noting that it shouldn't preclude them from service. And I quote, "We want to make our conditions and experience of service as attractive as possible to our best people in our country. I'm very open-minded about what their personal lives and proclivities are, provided that they can do what we need them to do for us." That's the important criteria. And I think you're right. I think that as we see, there's an acceptance of the community in different levels. At the diplomatic level, where we have an envoy that is going to take care of the global level, and at the same time, here in the United States, we're opening the military for people to be who they want to be. And they don't have to hide. In the past, we've done big leaps. We repelled the don't ask, don't tell policies, that affected a lot of gay servicemen in our army. At the same time, there's still a lot of work to do, and groups like the American Military Partner Association, the nation's largest resource and support network for the partners, spouses, and families of American lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender service members, they were very, very happy about this announcement, about the fact that the Defense Secretary was this open about the presence in the military. And I quote the president of AMPA, Ashley Broadway-Mack, saying the following: "Thousands of transgender service members are currently doing the job and doing it well, but are forced to do so in silence, forced to lie about something as fundamental as who they are in order to continue to serve." And it's incredible to see the passion that these service men, these service women put into defending their country, regardless that they have to hide who they are and how they feel about themselves in order to serve their country.
If they have the manpower, it shouldn't be a question of whether they're lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender. It doesn't matter, if they're doing their work properly, they have the manpower, then allow them to do it. And so I'm just still like, why is there so much concern about it? It's like, if they're capable of doing their job, there shouldn't be this whole debate.
And I think it all comes together when we realize that many of the rules that we had in the past we're from a different era.
Yeah.
You know, society have changed, our understanding of diversity has changed, so it's important that we now are taking steps in different fronts to show this acceptance, to show this diversity and accept it and work together and say, you know, it doesn't matter your sexual preference, it doesn't matter your sexual identity. If you have what it takes to serve in the military, we welcome you with open hearts. And not only welcome you, but protect you. You know, just last year, the Defense Department got rid of a regulation designating the sexual and gender identity of a service person as a disorder. And before that, if you were transgender, you will be classified as having a gender identity disorder and be discharged. So which will be very, very unfair, because then you're casting away these servicemen and servicewomen that are sometimes risking their life for the country just because you think that they're misguided or they have a mental disorder because they have a sexual preference or they have a sexual identity. So I think that we are doing big strides, and we want to know your opinion. Do you think that it's okay for the LGBT community to be serving in the military, that they are supported, and also that the United States are leading the quest for equal rights for everyone in the world? Let us know what you think in the comments and subscribe to the Lib TV.